Hello, this is a completely unprepared and rushed video about the Canadian convoy, but I did want to just get it made and get it out because this is something marvellous, actually. It really is. As I said in my previous video, I'll put a link. Yeah, I'll put a link up there or there or wherever it goes. As I said in my previous video, I didn't have a lot of information. There's a bit more information on the web now, but even better, of course, a lot of people have been leaving comments under my last video, and that's the basic information that I needed. So the first comment was that it wasn't only a vaccine mandate, but apparently the Trudeau government was insisting that the drivers wear masks at all times, even when they were alone in their cabs. And can you think of anything more lunatic than that? And those things really hurt your ears after a while. And those guys are on the road hours. It's just mind-boggling stupidity. And it does very much look like the Trudeau government is just seeing how far it can push the working class people, how compliant they'd be. I think they've got a bit of a shock there. Anyway, look, before I carry on, I want to remind you, I'm getting good at this, aren't I? I am Granny Opterix. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Rumble, BitChute and Minds.com. And I do ask you to like, share and subscribe. Please subscribe. And if you're on YouTube especially, check your subscription because the numbers keep dropping. And it seems that YouTube keeps sort of shaving away some layer of subscribers. So please keep an eye on this. Right. Oh, and supporting the channel is also very nice for me. But I do this. I mean, the money is nice, but I don't do it for the money. If it was for the money, I wouldn't be doing it, frankly. I got my earnings for last month from Rumble, by the way. I earned 14 cents. What am I going to do with all of that money? Anyway, look, let's get to the truck convoy because these people are in far more of a pickle than me. So I had a few messages, as I said, and I just want to read a couple of them to you just to let you see the sort of like toes in the water. Hiya, Granny. I heard somehow it got leaked that fascist Trudeau... Oh, talking about fascist, I'll find it. I saw a cartoon which Pat Condell had passed on Twitter, and it showed some cartoonist. I hope they paid him a lot for that. I wonder if his soul is worth it. The cartoonist did a picture, if I find it, it'll be up here, of a line of trucks with the word fascist on the side of each one of them. I was trying to explain to myself what must have been going through that person's mind, and the only thing I can think of is money. Why would anybody do that? Those truck drivers are not fascists. They don't want somebody to... Oh, I'm being careful with my language again because of YouTube. They don't want somebody to insert a slightly untested medication beneath their dermal layer. All right. Now, as I've said before, I didn't mind that. Well, but I'm hideously old, so what does it matter? Those guys have every right to refuse that. In any human society, I don't know what's happened to Trudeau. All right, well, let's carry on. I heard somehow it got leaked that fascist Trudeau had made a big payment to Antifa. Isn't it amazing how the left are always accusing other people of what they themselves are guilty of? Yeah, some chap I knew once said to me, his Jamaican grandmother kept saying, I'm not going to try and imitate her accent. She said, when you're pointing at somebody, remember, you have three fingers pointing back at yourself. I'll get on with this, should I? Made a big payment to Antifa to infiltrate the convoy and cause havoc. Goal is to create chaos and instigate violence. Look, they might have done that. Agents provocateurs are a common political ploy. It might have happened. But the fact that people are thinking that this will happen is the important thing, because they wouldn't put it past Trudeau to cause serious damage to ordinary innocent citizens in the furtherance of his political ambitions. All right, next one. Thank you for speaking about this. Much love from Canada. I do not use this word lightly. I rarely use it, to be honest, but I hate RPM, and I truly believe both hell and history will have a special place, save for him and his ilk. He doesn't seem like a nice person, but then we all have the idea that there are other people pulling his strings rather, don't we? That he's too stupid to understand really what's going on. A bit like another person, I'll get to him in a minute. Another letter, whatever their numbers, if nothing else, the trucks have finally united all Canadians opposed to the absolute insanity we've been experiencing since March 2020. You see, the Trudeau was... correct me if I'm wrong, I got the impression that Trudeau was elected because of the French vote. And that was a stupid thing to do, if you'll forgive me, Québécois. But you have to take some blame for Trudeau, and I hope you're realising that voting along ethnic or cultural lines isn't always a good thing for a country. Well, we all know that, don't we? Okay, the big news isn't that the convoy is happening, it's that none of the so-called journalists are covering it. Our governments have captured our news agencies that are responsible for checking their power. And that's true as well. It is a big story that there's this huge convoy, a huge uprising of people, not the popular opinion. Sorry, I've got my foot caught in the wire. Right, it's a good thing I just didn't unplug the camera. Okay, so people, not popular opinion, not journalese, nothing, just people, and they've all got together and they've said this is nonsense. It's funny because when people got together, for instance, like you hear of during the Second World War, they were fighting an enemy that came from outside their country. Now people are fighting their own governments. Maybe it's just an adjustment of the modern world, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we've got to keep an eye on this. So, let's see. So, apart from those messages, I read a publication here called the National Post. I don't know anything about it, but they seem to be doing a certain amount of journalism, if with a slight bias in this instance. The National Post says it's been said that there are 50,000, but they say a look at the math. That should be maths. A look at the math shows that 50,000 trucks will be so unprecedentedly massive. There's something wrong there. Anyway, that it would currently be lined up bumper to bumper across swathes of Ontario and Quebec. Swaths, they've written here. Swathes is spelt with an E. Oh dear. And then they calculate, and this is something, yeah, so maybe they got a mathematician to do this, and, you know, mathematicians are the international language of maths, broken English. Okay, the average truck and trailer is 23 metres long. This means that 50,000 of them would stretch 1,150 kilometres, the approximate distance between Edmonton and Vancouver. And that's reasonable reporting. And they say that it's most of the trucks aren't carrying trailers, so they're a bit shorter than that. So they do some more measuring maths with that. I've lost the thing now. Sorry, you'll just have to take my word for it. And I don't mind this. It's proper reporting. They've got some figures and they're working on them. However, they do also say that it can take more than an hour for the parts of the convoy, because apparently it's in separate chunks, to pass certain points. So that's a lot of trucks. That really is a lot of trucks. And it's a very impressive thing when you've seen the aerial photos of it. You know, they do stretch for a long time. It says here, thus far, Ottawa Police is expecting that the total number of Freedom Convoy vehicles will top out at between 1,000 and 2,000. Well, I don't believe that any more than I believe the 50,000 numbers. So you pays your money and you takes your choice. I suggest we just agree that it's a shed load of trucks. And what is the Canadian Premier doing while all this is happening? Well, it looks like he's taken his cue from his big brother, Basement Biden, to the south, and has taken refuge somewhere his mummy won't let him out to play. But I don't think it would be a basement for this guy. He obviously gets his comfort from clothes. We all know about his dressing up, don't we? So he's probably hiding, not in the basement, but in the wardrobe. Yes, just in the wardrobe, which is just the right name for the Canadian chief. Oh, I was going to call him a naughty name. You'll have to just fill in the blanks there.